We are 15 minutes away from my Kickstarter going live, and this vlog is to document the first 24 hours. So I'm sitting at my computer eagerly awaiting to hit the launch button. I'm also double checking my page to make sure it all looks good. And yes, I do think it's looking pretty good these days. Lots of graphics, some fun GIFs to make it extra fun and visual. This has been building for literally months. This is months of work just to create the Kickstarter. I'm not even talking about the book itself. I'm just talking about the Kickstarter and all the bells and whistles that come with the Kickstarter. But we're going to see how long it takes to fund the project. The funding goal is $500, which is pretty low, but there's plenty of stretch goals. I don't know exactly what the dollar amount is going to be for each stretch goal, but we'll kind of gauge that as things get rolling. And if you're watching this video when it was first published, the Kickstarter is still live. So if there's anything I talk about today that you're super excited about, you can go ahead and support the Kickstarter if you'd like to. It'll be linked down below. Now, it is currently 12:50, which means that we are 10 minutes away from the Kickstarter going live. Actually, I think I said I was going to put it live 5 minutes earlier because the video that goes up on YouTube to promote the Kickstarter and the newsletter that goes out to promote the Kickstarter goes live at 1 o'clock. So I'm going to put it live at 5 of in case something goes wrong. I'm also going to set a timer to see how long it takes to get funded. I don't know how long it's going to take. I hope it happens fast, but truly, you never know. The project on Kickstarter currently has 72 followers. My goal was 100 followers. We did not reach that. So I'm like a little bummed in that aspect, but 72 followers is still a lot of followers. At this point, I feel like just the most exciting thing will have the page to be actually going live. Another thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it now, is to do a live stream on my Instagram of me having it go live. And we are live. I'm just hitting the final, I think this is the final button, so I'm going to hit it now. Hit launch project. It says drum roll. We're waiting. Congratulations, your project is live. Yay! Okay, so it's officially live on Kickstarter. Alright, so that was awkward. I think I've only gone live on Instagram once, and that was like years ago. Also, I'm only slightly panicking because I don't know why, but I was like, oh, the instant it goes live, someone will back it. And I don't really know how this works. I don't know if I'll get, like, a notification that it's live or a notification if someone backed it. I'm now realizing how clueless I actually am about how all of this is working. So I feel like I need to, like, walk away for a little bit because if I don't see pledges coming in within, like, the first couple minutes, I think I'm gonna start to panic, and I really don't want to panic. So I'm going to walk away. I'm going to do some admin stuff like sharing the YouTube video and just try not to think about it too much. Okay, you guys, now that I no longer feel like I'm going to throw up because of nerves, I wanted to update you that it's been almost 20 minutes and we have funded $223 of our $500 goal. So we are this close. We are halfway there to funding this project. I'm hoping we can get it done within the first hour. That's the goal. So far, it's so far so good. But I have to admit, like, I've launched so many books now that, like, when you publish a book, it's not that big of a deal. This feels like a big deal, and I hate it. I hate how much nervous energy this is giving me. And I know I've done everything correctly, but this is a lot. Okay, so my Kickstarter has been launched for about 2 hours now, and it is not fully funded, but it is at $387, so it is 77% of the way funded. I have a feeling we'll be funded by the end of the day, but it's not happening as fast as I wanted. I think I set my expectations too high. Let's put it that way, because I did so much research And I saw so many projects that were funded in just a handful of minutes. And I thought because I set up my project the same way that that would be the case. And I thought I could really lean into my YouTube channel, my audience, blah, blah, blah. And while that is the case, that I do have this audience, at the end of the day, my audience and even Kickstarter's audience is not always the ideal reader, which is sweet romance readers. Because let's face it, the content that performs best on Kickstarter is fantasy books and spicy books, and my book is neither of those. It is blatantly the opposite. It's just a rom-com with no spice, no swearing, which has its place, don't get me wrong, but I don't have the advantage of being in that perfect genre like the authors that are in spicy fantasy are. Like, Kickstarter's their place. So I have a beautiful book and I have a great story, but it's just I have to find that ideal audience still. So I think I really like I thought I had mentally prepared myself to be like, all right, it's not going to be like super, super successful like you've seen other authors because you don't have the ideal audience. But I think part of me leading up to this got very excited from other people's feedback on my campaign because I had posted my campaign page to the Facebook for Authors group, and everyone was like, oh, your page looks great. It like you did a great job setting it up. The graphics are great. The book is great. But yeah, so sometimes even with the prettiest page, if you don't have the spicy fantasy, it doesn't sell well. But it is still selling. Like I still have to celebrate $347, which is awesome. It's just sometimes my ego gets knocked down a couple pegs. But I think my daughter's probably going to wake up soon-ish, which is why I wanted to recap with you guys. I have 2 different newsletters, and when the campaign launched, I emailed the Mandi Lynn newsletter to be like, here's this YouTube video I made about my Kickstarter, also the Kickstarter's live. So that went live and out to subscribers right at 1 o'clock when the Kickstarter went live. I planned to wait to email my Mandi Lynn Bell newsletter, which is my ideal reader newsletter, about the campaign being live once the campaign was fully funded. But now it's been 2 hours and it's not fully funded. So I ended up just sending the email now and removed the bit about saying it was fully funded because it's not fully funded yet, but it will be soon. Because I also just want to take advantage of the fact that if your Kickstarter does really well right from the beginning, that Kickstarter will sometimes like showcase your project. So we'll see what happens. I still actually have quite a bit of annoying admin stuff to do today, which doesn't shock me. So I'm going to go ahead and do those. But I'll keep popping in with updates as the Kickstarter continues. So for now, I'll just give you guys some stats. So the average pledge is for $43. I have 9 backers so far. Again, we're at $387. 4 of my pledgers came from people that followed the project on Kickstarter, but 2 of them came from the Discovery landing page, which is really cool. So that's 2 people who had no idea who I was and just saw the Kickstarter page for the first time and supported the project. And one of those people is actually someone who got the annotated copy of the book, which is really cool because 1, that's the highest tier I have, and 2, I would personally expect that someone who would purchase an annotated copy of the book is a fan of me as an author, but clearly they don't know who I am because they just found me through the Discovery page. Update, we are at $478. We are definitely going to get funded today, but I have to wake up my daughter. She has not woken up, and I really shouldn't have let her sleep in this much, but I have to take her to swim class, and hopefully when we return home from swim class and our errands, I'll have an exciting update. Guess what? My project got funded basically as I was walking out the door to bring my daughter to swim class. Is anyone surprised? I'm not. Anyways, it is now 8:30 p.m. and we have reached $1,000 for the Kickstarter, which is awesome. And I'm so excited. I'm like tired. I really don't feel like doing anything else tonight. But I have a banner on the Kickstarter right now that says just launched, and I'm going to change that to funded in, I think it was 3 hours it was funded. And then I have a few other things on my to-do list for today. I want to plan out my social media posts for the rest of the week. Typically, I would have had that already planned out by now, but because I was working on the Kickstarter so much, it was all hands on deck for that. And then I also, as a part of the Kickstarter, I'm doing 2 YouTube videos a week. So I already have the YouTube video that goes up later this week as the second video edited, but I need to schedule it, make the thumbnail, and all of that. So I just have more boring admin work to do. Somehow everything I did this morning is basically piled up to nothing because now I have more to do. Alright, it is the next day. It has been officially 24 hours since my Kickstarter has gone live, and we're doing pretty good, I think. It's really hard to gauge like how successful a Kickstarter is because truly, I just have no idea where my expectations are anymore. Obviously, there are some Kickstarters that are wildly successful and make thousands of dollars right off the bat. Then there are some Kickstarters where it's like really hard to even get the project funded. And then I like to think my Kickstarter is more like somewhere in the middle where it's like it did well, it's doing well, but it's not like one of those wildly successful blow up overnight ones. So I want to share the stats with you that I have so far. So far, after 24 hours, we have pledged $1,280. I also want to note that that includes the shipping costs. So when people pledged, there's the pledge price, and then people also have shipping on top of that. And I pre-calculated shipping ahead of time. So backers had to pay their shipping price up front, and then I just have to hope that I estimated it correctly and that I don't get screwed over, is basically how that all works. There's a couple of different ways you can do shipping. That's the way I chose to do shipping. I felt like that was the best for backers. It's not necessarily the best for me, but I felt like for backers, that's like the safest and most clear option. So that dollar amount includes a lot of shipping. So I want to say I saw a stat somewhere that said like 25% of the pledge money is just shipping. So to keep that in mind, that's like not that shipping price doesn't end up being profit. And then we also have to keep in mind that it takes money to print and produce books. So even though we have this $1,280, that's not going to be all profit. I'll do a separate video later on when all this is done of like what I spent versus what I actually made, and we'll see what I actually made as a profit off of this Kickstarter. So right now I have 29 backers. I have 19 left days to go. The average pledge is $44.14. Most of my pledgers are coming from people who follow the project during the pre-launch phase. And I had 72 followers at pre-launch. I now have 78 followers, but only 16 of those followers have gone on to actually pledge the project. Granted, it's been 24 hours. They still have plenty of time to back the project if they want to. And it has a 21% conversion rate. As far as reward tiers, there are 2 backers that pledged without getting anything in return, so you can just back a project without getting anything, and 2 people did that, which I'm very thankful for. 9 people have gotten the early ebook, 9 people have gotten the special edition paperback, only 3 people have gotten the deluxe hardcover, but 6 people have gotten the annotated deluxe hardcover. And like part of me was shocked, but then when I thought of it more, really the price between the deluxe hardcover and the annotated deluxe hardcover I think was something like $20. So it really is worth it to upgrade to the annotated deluxe hardcover if that's something you're into. And to the point where part of me was like, should I have even bothered creating a deluxe hardcover, and should I have only done the annotated deluxe hardcover? But I personally, this was like a little experiment because I didn't even know if people would like the annotated deluxe hardcover. Because I don't know, I made a ton of annotations in the book, but part of me is like, is this only amusing to me or will other people be amused by it as well? Because I did a lot of just story commentary. Like, I'm the type of person where if you watch a movie with me sometimes, I can be the type of person to talk throughout the entire movie. And that's basically what reading the book is going to be like, is you get a lot of commentary, fun facts. I think it adds to it. I think it's extra fun. But I know not everyone's going to be into that. And then on the same side of things, I'm not shocked at all that there's so many people backing the special edition paperback because it's a really good price. The special edition paperback is only $25, and that's $25 for a paperback that has black and white photos and a bonus chapter, but most of all, it also has sprayed edges. But it's a ridiculously low price for a special edition paperback with sprayed edges. So yeah, it's been very fun to keep an eye on this, and also to see some people will like upgrade their pledges where they got the ebook and then they change their mind and they upgrade it to the paperback, or they get the paperback and they change their mind and they upgrade it to the hardcover or the annotated hardcover. So it's been very cool. Again, we're only 24 hours in. If you are interested in backing the project, please do. I'm no longer a nervous wreck. Truly, there's just something about that first like couple hours that just really makes you question every decision you made, but I'm feeling good right now. I still have to make a big social media plan for the rest of the week and really for the rest of the month of how I want to promote this, but so far so good. So that's going to be it for this vlog. Like I said, while this Kickstarter is live, there's going to be 2 videos going out every single week. So definitely make sure to subscribe and stick around. I can even tell you next week's video is a Procreate tutorial on how to draw a book map for your book, whether it's a fantasy map or just any sort of map. And that is because we are this close from unlocking our first stretch goal of the Kickstarter. And the stretch goal of the Kickstarter is this gorgeous map. You can see that I printed it in this proof copy that I have here. This is the journey that our characters go through while they're in Iceland, and there's also a map key. This way you get the name of each location that is in the book, because sometimes I don't always mention the exact name in the book itself, but here you can get the exact name plus a reference to what chapter that happened in, which I think is really cool. And I personally have been to all these places, which is also how I was able to get the photos of all these places. Anyways, that is it, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.